Imagine, if you will, that there is a secret code or a holy blueprint that is the foundation of everything that exists. These are not human-made laws that are restricted by time or territory. Rather, they are cosmic laws that are eternal and applicable everywhere. They do not control your activities via the use of coercion, but rather they direct your life in the direction of increased wisdom and fulfillment. They have molded your history, and they will continue to do so in the future. But the most essential thing they do is shed light on the here and now. As we explore deeper into these fundamental rules, I pray that you not only find information and knowledge, but also transformation as a result of your exploration. The law of the unity of the divine. This theory demonstrates that all of us are interconnected, and that we are each a component of a holy, limitless energy that is significantly more extensive than our own limited selves. It teaches us that every action, every idea, and every word that we speak does not remain isolated to the peripheries of our particular existence, but rather reverberates through the cosmos, affecting the whole. It's having the realization that your life, mine, and every other life is intertwined and depending on one another. When we acknowledge the law of divine oneness, we come to the realization that no one is ever truly alone. We are in this together. We are not only drops in the ocean, but rather the ocean itself contained within a drop. Because if all that we see, feel, and experience is an extension of the same divine source, then the only rational answers to any interaction are love, kindness, and compassion. It is about treating other people with the same respect and care that you would desire for yourself, and having the awareness that any damage that is perpetrated onto another person is also a hurt that is inflicted upon you. This statute exemplifies the Golden Rule to its utmost. The Golden Rule instructs us to treat others as you would have them treat you. But how can we practically put this into practice? Begin by acknowledging the presence of the divine in each and every person you meet. Consider every interaction a chance to demonstrate compassion and understanding towards the other person. When you talk, let the things you say reflect the fact that you understand how we are all connected. When you listen, do it with the empathy that results from the realization that we are all different limbs growing off of the same tree. The law of vibration states that everything in our universe, from the most massive galaxies to the tiniest particles and everything else, including your ideas and feelings, functions on different frequencies or vibrations. This law also states that your thoughts and feelings are included in this category. Nothing is still. Everything is either moving or vibrating and resonating at various frequencies all the time. If I want more money, I need to figure out what the vibration of money is, also known as how it feels, and then I need to try to match that frequency. If I want to experience love, I have to raise my vibration to that of unconditional love, which is the highest possible frequency. If there is a certain person I want to have in my life, then that person and I need to be tuned into the same frequency or vibration. If you want to apply this rule to get what you want, you have to get your vibration to match up with what it is that you want. If you ever want to be counted among the stars, you have to convince yourself that you already are. We are not only physical entities traveling through life, rather we are energetic beings vibrating at particular frequencies. These vibrations influence our experiences, our interactions, and our reality. Recognizing this rule alters how we view ourselves and our place in the world. Consider your mental and emotional states. When you're happy and optimistic, you experience feelings of lightness and buoyancy, almost as if your body is vibrating at a higher frequency. Think about how you feel. In a similar vein, when you are depressed or pessimistic, you have a heavy, weighed-down sensation, as if you were vibrating at a lower frequency. The law of correspondence. The law that what's going on inside you corresponds to what's going on outside of you can be summed up in a law called the law of correspondence. It states that whatever is happening within you has an equal and opposite effect on the world around you, and that everything you see around you is nothing more than a reflection of what's going on inside of you. When you have a positive self-image, it appears like everything else in your life is improving as well. When you're not feeling well, everything seems to be going wrong around you. If you are calm on the inside, you will notice that the world around you is also calm. On the other hand, if you are stressed out on the inside, you will experience stress throughout your life. You are now faced with a profound realization. You are the creators of your own reality, and you have the ability to change the exterior environment around you simply by influencing the way you feel about yourself on the inside. Your life is a vivid picture that is painted by the thoughts you think, the beliefs you uphold, and the attitudes you embody. All of these things join together to form your life. Whatever you dwell on most becomes a part of your reality, whether you like it or not. If you want to alter your world, you must first change yourself, and then the changes you make will be reflected in the world around you. The principle behind the law of attraction is that like things are drawn to one another. You bring into your life whatever it is that you give the majority of your attention to, whether it is something pleasant or negative. This is not only philosophy, rather, it is a principle that has been acknowledged by ancient civilizations, quantum physicists, and prosperous people all across the world. The law of vibration and the law of attraction are quite similar to one another. You won't attract what you want, rather, you'll draw to you more of who you already are. The principle of attraction also states that you have to have faith in your ability to achieve your goals in order to do so. If you want to bring in money, but you can't see how it's feasible and you doubt that it will happen, then you're just like a wave in the ocean that is being tossed around by the wind. You can't hope to draw anything to you if you don't think it's possible for you to have it in the first place. Though you want to have good health, you have to treat yourself as though it depends on you doing so for the rest of your life. If you are generous with money, the universe will reward you by sending you more of it. If you want to be loved, you must first learn to love yourself and the people around you. The law of inspired action states that even if you align your thoughts with your desires, visualize them, and affirm them, nothing will change unless you take some kind of action to bring those goals into reality. Nevertheless, this is not just any action. Rather, it is inspired action, which means that it emerges from a place where your aspirations, intuition, and inner direction are aligned. This law functions as the engine that propels the materialization of your goals and aspirations. While the law of attraction assists you in bringing your thoughts and emotions into harmony with the things you want in life, your motivation to take action in the direction of those aspirations is fueled by the law of inspired action. It is the connection between the intangible realm of thoughts and the observable world of reality. You have to act the part if you want to acquire what you desire. An inspired action is neither one that is forced, nor is it one that is created out of fear or despair. Instead, it is a happy and eager march in the direction of the things you want. It has the feeling of being natural and effortless, while also being out of alignment with who you are. It's when you're so passionate about your vision that you're drawn to take action, not because you have to, but because you want to. When this happens, you know you're on the right track. According to the law of the transmutation of energy, everything, including your thoughts, feelings, and words, is made of energy, and energy cannot be created or destroyed. Rather, it can only be changed from one form to another. This law states that everything, including your own thoughts, feelings, and words, is composed of energy. When you think or feel something, that thought or feeling does not simply remain in that place. Rather, it transforms into something that travels across the cosmos. This law is the origin of the idea that ideas may become things. You have to be aware of the fact that whatever ideas and feelings you have, you are producing and attracting something as a reaction to that notion. Therefore, you need to make a conscious effort to select positive ideas and feelings and act on those selections. If you give a negative notion too much thought and attention for too long, it could turn into a negative circumstance. Be quick to change the direction of your thinking. When you become aware that you are experiencing a bad thought, immediately replace the energy of that thought with the energy of a positive thought, and do this as quickly as you can so that the negative thought does not become a reality. The law of cause and effect states that you will always receive in return exactly what you put into the world. Whatever harm you inflict upon other people or upon the earth will eventually find its way back to you. It is in accordance with the karma law. There is a purpose behind everything that occurs in life. The things that are happening to you or for you are a direct result of actions that you have taken in the past. If you engage in positive behaviors, you will reap the rewards of those actions, while engaging in negative behaviors will also have an effect on you. There is always a response that is both equal and opposing to the action taken. After gaining an awareness of this law, you will be equipped with the knowledge that in order to change the effects that you are subjected to, you must first change the causes that you set into motion. You always get what you plant, but you almost never get mangoes. If you plant apple seeds, you won't get love in return. You will harvest exactly what you sow if you plant the seed of hatred in the hearts of others. What you put into anything is what you get back. If you love others, you will be loved in return. If you donate money, then you will receive more money. Whatever you do will eventually come back to you. What you do or say will never just go away. Rather, it will either help you or hurt you in the end. It's possible that it won't come back immediately soon, but it definitely will. The law of compensation. This law is one, and it is associated with the laws of vibration attraction, the cause of effect, and the transmutation of energy. According to this law, you will receive a reward that is directly proportional to the amount of value that you contribute to other people and to the planet. It conveys the idea that in proportion to how much you give, so much will be given back to you. Whatever good you do for other people, for society, or for the globe, it will invariably come back to you in some form or another. This law extends beyond the physical domain and encompasses love, kindness, joy, and peace, as well as monetary and material gains. It is not limited to either of those categories. When you show kindness to others, you are rewarded with kindness. When you spread joy, you feel delight yourself. The law of relativity states that nothing in and of itself can be said to be good or bad. Rather, things are what you decide they are, and everything boils down to the significance that you ascribe to them. This law encourages you to take a step back from the specific details of your experiences and consider them in a broader context. What could appear to be a huge problem to you might be seen as a relatively minor hurdle when contrasted to the problems that other people have to deal with. In a same vein, what you consider to be a minor accomplishment may represent a lifelong goal for another else. When anything happens, you don't have to state whether it's good or terrible. Rather, you can see it as the outcome of a cause, as the law of relativity teaches you that you do not need to name anything in your immediate environment. You make the decision to invest everything in your life with the significance it deserves. Every event that occurs in your life is in and of itself neutral. You give it either a positive or negative spin by assigning one of those labels to it. The principle known as the law of polarity asserts that there are two sides to everything and that all things have their polarized counterparts. Every life has a beginning and an ending. We are currently residing in the material world, but there is also a spiritual world. Both the North Pole and the South Pole are distinct geographic locations. Both a divine feminine energy and divine masculine energy exist in the universe. Despite the fact that twin flames frequently give the impression of being significantly different from one another, they are in fact the same. There is such a thing as hot and cold, but really, they are only varying degrees of what we refer to as temperature. There is such a thing as good and evil, but they are really just various levels of what we understand to be morality. In your life, the law of polarity tells you that even during the most difficult times, there is the potential for light. It teaches you that even in the midst of your biggest problems, there are the seeds of opportunity. It teaches you that even in the midst of your deepest sadness, the ability for joy continues to exist. The natural flow or rhythm of the cosmos is something that should not be disrupted. According to the law known as the law of rhythm, you will learn that everything in the cosmos moves in a cycle or rhythm, similar to the swing of a pendulum or the changing of the seasons. This is a lesson you will learn from it. Exactly the same way that the tide comes in and out, exactly the same way that the day goes into night, and exactly the same way that winter turns into spring. This cyclical pattern of activity permeates every facet of human existence. This law serves as a reminder that the inherent cycles that govern the universe also govern your existence. There are seasons of labor and times of repose, times of expansion and times of contraction, times of happiness and times of melancholy. By exercising patience and allowing events to unfold as they will, you can sidestep a significant number of potential difficulties. When you try to push things to happen on your schedule, chaos ensues, and when this strategy fails, it can leave you feeling frustrated. And the final law is the law of gender. This law has nothing to do with being male or female, and everything to do with the masculine and feminine energies that exist both within ourselves and throughout the cosmos. Understanding the relationship that exists between the masculine and feminine energies that are present inside each of us is essential, regardless of whether you identify as a man or a woman. There is no such thing as a superior or better energy. Rather, there are energies that are polar opposites but complement one another. Having an awareness of the law of gender enables us to better comprehend the significance of equilibrium. It teaches us that in order to realize our greatest potential, we need to bring the masculine and feminine forces that reside within us into harmony. This is not about becoming less of a man or less of a woman. Rather, it is about accepting all aspects of our nature in order to develop into whole people. These are ancient principles that have always been intuitively known by the most enlightened people of the nations, and they have always lived by them. If you violate these principles, you are in effect working against the way the world is designed to function, which makes life a lot more difficult. Although no one is actually trying to hurt you, the flow of events in your life may make it seem as though you are being punished. This is because you are working against the natural order of the universe. If you're still reading this, why don't you tell me which of these rules you've been obeying, or which of them you intend to begin obeying from this point forward? I'd really want to get your feedback. I want to wish you a wonderful day and a happy life.